If you're an aspiring migrant or immigrant living in Australia, you might want to grab a coffee or something stronger, because major changes are on the horizon. The Australian government has decided to shake up its immigration policies, and let's just say, it's not exactly rolling out the welcome mat. So, what's changing? And why does it feel like the government just sent a "thanks for coming, now please leave" memo to thousands of people? With tighter visa restrictions, tougher pathways to permanent residency, and new rules aimed at reducing migration numbers, many immigrants are now facing an uncertain future. These changes are part of a broader effort to manage population growth, ease pressure on infrastructure, and prioritize local workers. But for those who have built lives, careers, and families in Australia, the sudden policy shifts feel like a harsh reality check. Whether you're a skilled worker, an international student, or someone hoping to settle permanently, these new regulations could have serious consequences. Let's break it all down in a way that actually makes sense. What's happening, why it's happening, and most importantly, what it means for you. Buckle up, because this is big. The new immigration rules explained. First up, what exactly is happening? Well, Australia is rolling out a new points-based system for visas, which means getting permanent residency is now as easy as winning the lottery. If the lottery required you to have multiple degrees, 10 years of work experience, and the abilities to wrestle a kangaroo, okay, maybe not the last one, but you get the point. The new system prioritizes highly skilled workers, especially in fields like healthcare, IT, and engineering. Great news if you're a brain surgeon or a cybersecurity expert, but if you're in an industry that isn't on the VIP list, good luck. Then there's family sponsorship. Remember when you could bring over your parents, siblings, or that cousin you actually like? Yeah, not anymore. Now, only the closest family members of Australian citizens or permanent residents can be sponsored. And even then, it comes with a pile of paperwork and financial requirements that make it feel like you're adopting a whole country instead of reuniting with loved ones. And let's talk about skilled visas. Before, Australia had a broader approach, welcoming professionals in a variety of fields. Now, it's like an exclusive club, and unless you have a highly specialized skill or deep pockets, you might find yourself stuck outside the velvet rope. The real-life impact on immigrants. For many immigrants, these aren't just policy changes. They're life-altering decisions that could uproot everything they've built. Families who have spent years in Australia, working, raising children, and contributing to society, now face the unsettling prospect of being forced to leave. Imagine buying a home, paying taxes, becoming part of a community, only to be told, "Oops, sorry. You don't qualify anymore. Time to go." Many immigrants feel blindsided and betrayed. I've lived here for over a decade. My kids were born here. Now we might have to leave the only home they've ever known, one immigrant shared. And they're not alone. Thousands of people who once felt secure about their future in Australia are now facing uncertainty, unsure if they'll be allowed to stay. But it's not just families feeling the pressure. Businesses are bracing for impact too. Industries like healthcare, education, and construction rely heavily on immigrant workers. If thousands are suddenly forced to leave, who's going to fill those jobs? With labor shortages already affecting key sectors, these changes could create serious economic ripple effects. Robots or AI? Spoiler, we're not there yet. So, what happens next? Let's take a closer look. How these rules could force immigrants to leave. Here's where things get serious. The new rules don't just make it harder to get a visa, they also make it more difficult to renew the ones people already have. That means thousands of immigrants are now scrambling to adjust their status before deadlines hit. For some, though, it might already be too late. Legal battles are unfolding as advocacy groups push back against these policies, arguing they're unfair and disruptive. But with the clock ticking, the chances of quick solutions seem slim, as immigration lawyers are overwhelmed, fielding desperate calls from people trying to figure out their options. And their advice? If you don't meet the new criteria, start packing. The frustration is palpable. I've worked here, paid taxes, contributed to society, and now, just like that, I might have to leave, one long-term resident shared. For many, it feels like spending years building a beautiful sandcastle, only to watch the tide wash it away overnight. With families, workers, and entire industries on edge, the uncertainty is mounting. Will the government reconsider? Will legal challenges succeed? Or will thousands of people be forced to uproot their lives and start over elsewhere? One thing's for sure, this isn't over yet. A call for hope. Can Australia change its approach? Despite all the doom and gloom, there's still hope across the country. People are speaking out. Advocacy groups, businesses, and everyday Australians are pushing back, calling for more compassionate policies. Their argument is simple. Immigrants aren't just numbers on a spreadsheet. They're real people who have built lives, families, and communities here. Let's be real. Immigrants have played a massive role in shaping modern Australia. They've strengthened the economy, brought in valuable cultural diversity, and, let's be honest, probably introduced half the country to its favorite foods. These contributions go far beyond just filling job vacancies. They've enriched Australia's identity, and that's why critics argue these new policies aren't just harsh, they're short-sighted. So, will the government listen? Or will Australia see a mass exodus of skilled workers, students, and families? One that could send shockwaves through the economy and reshape the nation's social fabric. That's the million-dollar question. What's certain is that the voices of those affected are growing louder. Protests, petitions, and legal challenges are gaining momentum, and this debate is far from over. The battle for fairer immigration policies is on, and the outcome could define Australia's future for years to come. The bottom line: at the end of the day, immigration policies should be about balance, protecting national interests while also valuing the people who have contributed so much to the country. Right now, Australia seems to be leaning too far in one direction, and the consequences could be massive. For thousands of immigrants who have built their lives here, these sudden changes feel like the rug has been pulled out from under them. Families who have spent years integrating into Australian society, paying taxes, and contributing to the economy are now facing an uncertain future. Meanwhile, businesses that rely on immigrant workers are worried about the long-term impact on industries already struggling with labor shortages. If you're an immigrant in Australia, now is the time to stay informed, explore your options, and, just in case, start thinking about a Plan B. And if you're an Aussie citizen who believes in a fairer system, this is the moment to speak up. That will be all in this video. Please share your opinions with us in the comments area. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and enable the notification bell to receive updates on Australia immigration news. Thanks for watching.